Welcome everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill of Scribe Me Quick Designs, and today I want to share with you something that I found out that I think is kind of cool and that you will probably want to explore yourself. So I have been doing more sublimation crafting lately, and I have a project that I need to work on to create a baby onesie to go to a friend who just had a baby. And I was looking around and I'm looking at different images, and I hadn't really found what I wanted to use that was already pre-made, and so I wanted to kind of create my own thing. So that makes me think about coming out to Creative Fabrica because it's one of my favorite sites. You guys know that I've used them for a while now, and I really like having access to all kinds of fonts and images that other designers have created that I can download. I have a subscription, and in the subscription includes, you know, having access. If you have the all access subscription, let me be clear about that, because they have multiple different subscriptions, but if you have the all access subscription, you get access to all the fonts, all the PNGs, all the graphics, all the SVG files, all the crafting tutorials. There's needlework, there's all kinds of classes, there's various things that you get access to when you have an all access pass. Okay, one of those is being able to get access to what Creative Fabrica has started up called Creative Fabrica Studio. Creative Fabrica Studio is kind of like everything all rolled into one, where you can design to your heart's and create something unique. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create something unique for my friend that had a baby, and I'm going to show you how I did that. I did want to mention real quick that Creative Fabrica does have a great deal right now going on, at least for the next few days, that you can get their subscription. It's $47 for the year, and that gives you everything that I'm talking about, including the Creative Fabrica Studio that I'm going to show you here in a minute. If you already have a subscription, you can go ahead and add on to like renew your subscription. I'll put a link to all that down here in the description of the video so you guys can get to that quickly. We're going to go to creativefabrica.com studio. Now Creative Fabrica Studio is, like I was saying, it is like designing all under one roof. I have a lot of different programs that I design in. So I design SVG files in one, I do you know, graphic assets in one, like Canva or PicMonkey. Some of those, I know some of y'all are familiar with those, and I use you know, a lot of different programs for me to create with. And Creative Fabrica Studio is like putting all of those under one roof. So I'm going to go into Start Designing, and by the way, you can go ahead and create in Creative Fabrica Studio for free right now to give it a try. So if you don't have a Creative Fabrica subscription right now, you can still go ahead and use this for the moment. To be able to use the different assets that are in it, you need to have a subscription. We're going to go to add a new design. You do need to be logged into your Creative Fabrica account. So you do have to create an account. You don't have to have a subscription to do that, but you want to have created an account. And then you're going to see here where it says create a new design, and there's standard, which we're going to come back to in a minute. There's print, so if you know you're going to be printing things, there's some different, you know, templates. Basically think of these as templates. There's different craft products like mugs, acrylic tumblers, bookmarks. There's all kinds of things. They have a list of things here. They do print on the band. You can create social media graphics. There's different things here that you can do that kind of create these templates, but we're going to go back to standard. And in standard, there's some different things here that are already sized documents. I'm going to pick standard. Standard comes in at 1200 by 1200 pixels is their standard template. However, you come over here to settings, and we're going to make some changes over here. So I know that I am going to be using, I want to make a sublimation image, and I'm going to be customizing it using this program, and then I'm going to be printing it on sublimation paper from my sublimation printer, and then I'll be using my heat press to add that to the baby onesie. Okay, so that's going to be the process once we get the design done. So I want to go ahead and set this up so that I already know that it's going to fit onto my sublimation paper. So we're going to change it from pixels to inches, just because that's how my brain works. And then we're going to change the width to, you can't do 1/2 inch, but I can do 8, so that's good enough. And height, I can change it to 11. Okay, I do want to change the DPI to print. Okay, that's going to give you a 300 DPI, and that's going to give you a much better print image. Okay, so you want to make sure you change it to that, and then I'm going to say create design. And what it's going to do is it's going to come up with an 8 by 11 piece of paper, basically, that I am going to start using to design on. So over here in the left hand column, you're going to see that there are some things that you can use and do, and there's different other templates that you can pick from. Like if you was something in particular you were looking for, there's a lot of information here. We're not going to go over that right now. And there's graphics that you can use that have already been generated. You can do a search for them. So let's say you were looking for, it's almost Easter, so I'm going to do a bunny. And you can type in, these are images that have already been created in the program. So you could certainly grab one of these if you wanted. You can also add text in, and I will be showing you that. And there's different elements that you can use that they've already set some up here that you could pick to add to your project. You can actually, there's photos, you can look for different photos. You can pick different backgrounds if you want. So if you're, depending upon what you're creating, and there's different patterns that you can pick. You can actually upload your own images if you want, and there's also a drawing feature. That kind of just gives you a little overview of what we're talking about here, but we're going to use the Spark AI up here, which is the second one here in the column. And in here, this is AI, is the artificial intelligence program that's built into this system that is going to give you some creative freedom for you to use your imagination and come up with what you might want something to look like. And you would use that by adding some descriptive text here in this gray box where you see my cursor. And I am going to, let's say, I'm going to put baby bunny. Actually, I want to be a little more descriptive. I'm going to put blue baby bunny. Okay, so blue baby bunny. I'm going to hit generate, and it tells you it's going to take a second. It says I'm transforming these from your description. We're transforming those into some images. The AI artificial intelligence is going out and coming up with an idea for what this might look like. So here are 4 images that they come up with that, yes, they are blue baby bunnies. Okay, you can see that. That looks great, right? However, it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So I want to maybe be a little more specific. So I'm colorful watercolor baby bunny sitting in grass. See what that looks like. So we're going to let it do its thing. So the more descriptive you can get and zone in on whatever you have in your mind that you would like it to generate an image for you, it will do that. So, and it will take a second because it's going out and it's pulling images and thinking about it. Okay, now look how cute these are. So here's some really cute images that popped up. I could use any of these. Okay, so let's say I really liked this one. I could put this on my mat just by clicking on it. Look how cute that is. That is super cute, right? So we created this little bunny here, but it's not what I want. What I want is more a colorful watercolor baby bunny with mom bunny sitting in grass. Let's see what it comes up for that. Remember, I'm making a baby onesie, so that's why I'm thinking babies and mommies, okay? You could look for whatever you want to look for. So it's going to come in. I'm just giving you a feel for how easy this is to do. And then we're going to customize it. Once we find an image that we really like, we're going to customize it. So there's some cute ones here. So you could go through and pick one of these. I'm going to go in and show you the one that I created earlier that I'm actually going to use, which is this one. Okay, I just thought this was super sweet, and it is a baby mommy and a baby bunny. You can see I played around with this and I came up with different things. So I've got this, looks super cute. And I can kind of pull it out and look at it and make sure that that's kind of what I want. I really thought this was sweet. However, I could put this on the onesie, but guess what? I would like to customize it a little more than this. And I want to add some little hearts. soft blue and pink watercolor heart, since I really like the watercolors right now, evidently. So then it's going to come up and it's going to do some searching. There's some cute watercolor hearts here. I could certainly use one of these. Let's see, I like this one. So I'm going to add this. Okay, I can even turn it. It's got a little turn dial here. Let me see if I can grab it. I can turn it like this. I want to add another one of those hearts. Okay, so I've got a big heart and a little heart. So you can add other images in. You could come over here to elements and you could add some things to it. You could go into different graphics and add more things to it, whatever. But so I'm creating this in my mind of what I want this to look like, and I'm using the AI function to help me get there. Now that I've got kind of my image the way I would like it, I think that's going to look super cute on a onesie. I'm going to come over to text and I'm going to add text. And I know that I want it to say mommies. And then I'm just going to pull that down to where I want it on my image here. I just want to point out, you can change this so that you can look for different fonts. You can make it bold if you want. I definitely want to bold that. Mommies there. And then another line of text. In this one, I want to say little snuggle. And I want to change the text here to a different font. So I'll come over here and select a different font. So they've got some already loaded in here for you to use. And I'm going to go scroll through here and see if I find something that I like. I like the dancing script. And that looks kind of cute. I can take this and make it a little bit bigger. And then go back and add another line of text. In this one, I just want to say bunny. And I need to spell. And I want to make it bold. And so you can manipulate your sizing here. Make it a little bit bigger. So this is the image. I dreamed it up from what was in my head. I think we've got it. And then I'm going to say share here. Oh, I want to title it because I want to title my images. So mommy baby bunny. And so I've titled it and I'm going to say share. And then it's going to let you download the file. So I'm going to download the file and I want to pick that this is going to be a PNG image. Okay. However, before I do that, because I know that I'm going to make this a sublimation project, I'm going to go ahead and flip the image. So I'm going to turn the flip on before I tell it to print it as a PNG. Okay, because a PNG is what you need for when you do sublimation printing. Okay, and then it's going to download it. You can also, when you, this little, I don't know what you call that, an asterisk thing, it lets you go back and into, since I've already logged into my Creative Fabrica account, I have my own account in Creative Fabrica Studio. Okay, so any images that I've created in Creative Fabrica Studio will be here for me to find them, so I can go back and I can reuse them. Okay, so let's say, you know, I want to make this again in another 2 months. Somebody else has a baby and I think, oh, I want to make that same thing. I could come back in here, I could come in and I could edit this and change the text on it if I wanted or whatever. So you'll find your projects here that you've worked on. So that is how you design in Creative Studio. What I want to show you next is how I took that image once I printed it out, and I'm going to add it to my baby onesie, and you can see the full circle of me getting an idea in my brain about what I wanted, and Creative Fabrica Studio helped me bring it to life. So now that I have created my image in Creative Fabrica Studio, which is this, that's our bunny image that you just saw me create. And since I did tell it to flip it, see how it's printed the other direction. Okay, that's what you want when you do sublimation. So it's printed on sublimation paper, which I use Hippo sublimation paper, so that's what it's printed on. And I use I know y'all are going to ask me, I use a Epson EcoTank 2800 printer that I converted to sublimation. It's worked great. I love it. And I will be using a Cricut baby onesie. It's a 6 to 9 months size, and it is a sublimation blank ready. So to do this, you would need, for sublimation, of course, you need to have a base product blank that is sublimation compatible. Okay, you can't do this on a regular cotton t-shirt. It just won't work. I have it sitting on a Cricut Easy Press mat, and I'm going to go ahead and use, this is just a lint roller. I want to make sure that there's nothing on the shirt before I go to do that, and I need to warm it up just for a second before I put my image on. And I'm using a Cricut Easy Press. This is the small one. I like this perfectly for doing baby onesies because it fits here without interfering with any of the sides. And then I want to take my image. Now you can see here, this prints on that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but you need to feather around the edges, so I just tore it around the edges. You see what I'm saying? Kind of feathering it, so that you don't get sharp lines when you do sublimation. So we're going to do that. I'm going to line this up and put it here where I want it on my baby onesie. Inside the onesie is a piece of white butcher paper so that the sublimation ink doesn't bleed through to the other side of the shirt. And I'm going to use some heat transfer tape to hold this in place. I'll just need a couple of pieces here. And don't use regular tape. You need special sublimation tape that can be heated up. Okay? In case you're watching this for the first time and you have never done sublimation, I didn't want you to be confused. Then I'm going to put a piece of plain unwaxed butcher paper over the top, because when you sublimate and we're going to add heat, I have my Cricut Easy Press Mini here, we're going to have the heat releases the sublimation ink and it can kind of float away, so to speak, and you don't want to have that on the bottom of your heat press or kind of escaping anywhere else. So that's why we use a piece of butcher paper on top. Then I'm going to lay this on top of here, and I'm going to hit the go button. It's at 385 for 40 seconds. I'm just going to apply medium pressure here. I'm just barely holding it with my hand like you see here. And we're going to let this count down for us. That's the great thing about the Easy Presses, is that it does all the counting for you and it's pretty easy to set up. All the supplies that I use for this project I'm going to put in the description of the video. Also the link to the Creative Fabrica Studio if you want to go give that a try and make your own sublimation images. And also don't forget, right now they have that special deal going on with the Creative Fabrica All Access subscription. Alright, so then we're going to lift this up. We're going to take this off. Da, 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 da. And I usually let this cool down for a second, so I'm going to move it off of my heat transfer, my Cricut heat press mat, and let it cool down just for a second. And then we're going to do the reveal. So here we go. Oh my gosh, is that not the cutest thing ever? Take the paper out of it. Now I have, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled with this, and I'm sure my friend will be when I send it to her for her new baby. Anyway, so that is how easy it is to use Creative Fabrica Studio to create bring your own vision to life for you to use on anything you want. Let me know if you have any questions about using it. Let me know if you have, well, let me know what your thoughts are. Leave me a comment. Do you see yourself doing this on some sublimation projects? Do you see yourself, you know, kind of letting your imagination go wild and come up with an image that you have in your head but you can't find anywhere else? It frees your creativity, and that's what I love about Creative Fabrica Studio, is that I can just let my imagination run wild and then I can make something with it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't already subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys.